We'll put you like that. Alrighty, hello everybody. So this is the slideshow of basically that documented the whole 2024 sewing Christmas plan. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna break all presenting rules here because I'm able to. I'm just gonna kind of read off the slides one by one and just explain them to hopefully showcase how I did this sewing project that I did over the summer for all the Christmas placemats I gave out. So let's go. Alrighty. So why am I doing this in the first place? Guys, I'm not gonna improv here, I'm just gonna literally read what's on the slide. Yes, every school teacher tells you don't read from the slides. Well, fun fact, you can break the rules if you know them. Anyway, so, why am I doing this project in the first place? I am a firm believer in giving presents on Christmas. I think it's a lot of fun and it means a lot to people. This year I realized in summer I was going to have some financial difficulties. So I decided if I want to keep doing my big gift giving, I realized I would need to either find a way to make the money do so or do something else. I decided then I would make all my gifts this year. Using my sewing skills, materials at home, I sewed table placemats that people can put their plates on for while they're eating. A lot of work did lie ahead, but it gave me a chance to do something special for my friends, and even so, making all the work ahead, all the work ahead worth it. Okay, there we go. You know what? Let's just put me up there. Why am I documenting the project? I am documenting this project for the following reasons. One, so I can look back on it with fond memories when sharing it, remind myself crazy, impossible, but awesome things can happen with a plan. If someone else finds themselves in a similar predicament, hopefully this can serve as an inspiration to them. And then lastly, anyone I tell this project to, I can show them all the work that went into it to remind everyone how much work goes into all the things we have in our lives. And also, this kind of reminder me to be grateful for what I have. Okay? And, oh my gosh. And when I say that, here's a good example. So, I'm currently going to UC Merced for mechanical engineering. And you know, guys, something I've really learned about everything in my life is there's a lot of work that goes into everything that we have. I just took this course called Components Design. The little worm gear, you have an adjustable wrench, a screw, a bolt, a nut, all that stuff. There's a lot of work that goes into making them usable, safe, and making them last as long as they do. Same thing with any gift you have, anything like that. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So I'm also making this to just remind myself, hey, don't ever take for granted everything because there's a lot of work that goes into it. Like, I wouldn't have been able to do this project more for the fact that my mom had a sewing machine that I could just use a bunch of thread and a bunch of fabric from over the years, say from myself, my sibling, and my mom. So it also kind of reminds me to be grateful for what I have in my life. I'm able to have all the resources to do said stuff like this. And one last thing, I said earlier, if you know the rules, you can break them. That applies to only certain things. That means like if you know the rules are don't steal, do not break that rule. I just realized I might have accidentally incentivized that. Don't do that. All right, anyways, let's go. So I'm not now. I said I'm going to read the slides, all of them. I'm not going to read every single one. What I'm going to do is kind of just go through how I did this. So what I did was every time I sewed, I took some photos and talked about what I did for the day. And it appears when I first started, which was technically May 29th, but didn't take any photos. These are all from June 3rd, it looks like. The last time I had made them was in 2023 as gifts for some people. So I had to draw from memory how to make them. So my first three were a little wonky. So I have this one, this one. It doesn't look like I took a photo of the third one. But as you'll see in all the videos where I give them out, it gives them character. Anyways, but yeah, that's how we first started. And then my first few, I had a routine. I got out my tools, rotary cutter, sewing machine, seam ripper, and iron. I ironed all the fabric I wanted to use. I cut the fabric strips and back, so like here's clearly what looks like a back, and then strips that go with it. And then I sewed all the fabric strips together and then ironed them again. Sewed the placemat up together to stuff it, and then I sealed it. So I did it like that. But then June 5th it appears I realized I was not gonna be able to do this in ample time. Like I was just going way too slow. Like at first it was really taking me like 2 hours to make two. Like kid you not, it was just too much work doing this whole process at once. So I had to figure out something. But I didn't quite do that yet. So I didn't realize until June 7th it looks like I realized one of the things slowly me down. That's supposed to say slowing. That is embarrassing. I'll fix that before I make this public. Slowing me down was how I had to constantly iron and cut everything for the pre-cut stage. So, and that's when I realized if I had everything ready to go, I'd be good. So then I took a factory system batch processing approach. So here's how I did that. June 8th, I didn't bother making any fabric. I didn't bother making any placemats like I did with all these. How many did I have at this point? On June 7th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it looks like. Yeah. So what I did was I emptied my whole bin of fabric, which was this whole box, and I ironed it all. I kid you not, guys, that was a task. It took me like 3 hours. It was a lot. Then I just started cutting all the strips, okay? Cut every single one. I did that for a little bit. You can tell I did that for 3 sewing sessions. It looks like. Yeah, we cut a lot of backs, a lot of strips. I don't know how many are in this photo. It looks like I did not take the time to document that either. And then I just started sewing, and oh my gosh, it was saving me so much time. And by this point, I kind of really remembered how to do it. So next thing I knew, I was able to start pumping out. Looks like I did 4 this day. Here's my completed pile so far. There's my sourdough bread that fueled me through the process. And here's all of them together. And oh wait, this was wait, okay, this is the next sewing entry, but then there's dang, how many did I make this day? Knowing my system worked, I just made as many as I could, and in about 4, okay, so it appears I made it on as of June 30th. I made a total of 26 placemats, and it appears in 4 hours. Okay, so that means I've been telling everyone a lie that in 2 hours I was making like 8, so my bad on that, guys. It appears I made 10 in 4 hours having everything pre-cut. Dang. Okay, and look, I showed my whole system. Layout, sew the strips together, iron out seams and cut off excess, sew back to the strips and flip inside out, stuff and fully sew close, and you're done. Dang. Wow. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Then I went on a long run with my friend Anthony this day, and then I just came back home and started sewing. And jeez, man, by July 1st we had quite a big stack going. And I managed to pump out 10, it looks like. Dang, that was a factory system, man. Okay, but then it looks like I depleted most of what I'd cut, so I then had to do another cutting session of backs and more strips. And I did more, and oh, okay, it looks like on this one, I actually did some math. Here's shown application of math of everyday life. Okay, so I had 262 strips and 42 backs. Shown application of math in everyday life, it takes about 7 strips to make each placemat, so 262 divided by 7 is about 37. I very obviously rounded. Yeah, you guys can do that on a calculator. Well, let's just do it on a calculator right now. I'm curious. No, I can't do that in my head. Alright, so 262 divided by 7. 37.42. I obviously rounded to the nearest whole number down, so 37. And then, so I can make about 37 placemats with the current supply I have. A lot of groundwork and planning, but it's going to be great. If it's going great, I'll have them all made in no time. And then, I only have 2 more fabric pieces to cut. Okay, so it looks like I dedicated July 5th to doing that. And then I just went for it, and I had 46 by this point, looks like, as of July 6th. Then, believe I only, jeez, July 7th, I just kept going. I showed them to Miss Robin Freeman. She's the person who taught me how to make these back in 2021. She was very pleased to see someone took it beyond the lesson. Let's see, it looks like as of July 7th, I decided I only had about 20-25 more to make. Then I just kept making them and making them, so laid them all out. Oh, wait, I made all 8 of these. Okay, my bad. So there was a total of 8, and then I just made them all. Kept going. Oh, okay, it looks like I took a 7-day break, because July 14th, July 21st. And by this point, oh, I'm on the last day. I made 4 of them today. Then I made the last 4 as of July 28th, it looks like. And I even got, look at this, so I talked about making them all. As of July 28th, I've successfully sewn all placements I intend to sew. If I do any more, I'll put them here, you'll see. For all of the initial ones I plan to make back in May have all been made. Jeez. The last images are the last four I made. I had a lot of fun doing this and got to practice and hone my skills in sewing, but also as a bonus, I got to even perfect some skills in engineering, namely the following: efficiency and batch processing, which I talked about earlier when I kind of made a factory system. And this was all of them. And all of them are done. Can't wait to hand them out in December. And hand them all out in December. So yeah, guys, that's my sewing placemat project. A very informal presentation, as you saw. Hope it was still enjoyable. But yeah, that's how I went about making the placemats. And as you can see, like I didn't consistently just do it every day. It looks like you had some days where I was doing it consecutively, like July 1st to 7th here. I just worked every day, but then July 14th, July 21st, July 22nd, July 28th. So I'd have to look back at what I was doing at that time in the summer, but looks like I got busy. Excuse me. But that being really fun. I just gotta do something I love. I even gotta practice some skills that I have in engineering because it's funny. You know, anything you do in life, you should always make sure to tie to what you love doing. And in my case, sewing may not have a whole lot to do with engineering, if we're gonna be honest, but I can still practice skills that can help me become a better engineer. In this case, it looks like I just decided to practice just practicing a skill to get better at. And I will tell you right now, the placemats got better from the first one. Like they started looking a lot more uniform, unlike my first ones. If you look back in the slides, but also efficiency and batch processing. And I found I could achieve better efficiency for production through batch processing, as in cutting all the fabric, ironing all pre-end, then just sewing away. So yeah, um, that's the project. So thank you guys for watching, and otherwise you can tell I made this when I hadn't handed any of them out. So if you are interested in seeing how what all the reactions were to them, watch the next videos in this playlist. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this.